Well, hello everybody. This is John Michael Talbot, and I've been asked to do some little YouTube teaching excerpts from our Nothing is Impossible video. So we're going to give it a whirl, and if you like it, great, we'll keep doing it, and if nobody watches it, then we won't do any more. So we'll kind of play it by ear. Well, nothing is impossible with God. This is the message we've been taking back and forth across the United States for the last several years, and people are responding. You know, if you look around, it looks like a lot of things are pretty impossible. The political world looks pretty impossible. You got the right and the left. They won't ever talk to each other. Nothing gets done. You've got the economic world. We have economic crisis in Europe. We have economic crisis here in the United States. We're crawling out a little bit at a time, but we're not making much progress. You know, you look at the church, and sometimes, despite the fact that we have this wonderful new pope and everything seems so cool and all that, you know, on the local level, sometimes it just seems impossible, doesn't it? Liturgies are kind of dead, and singing isn't great, preaching isn't great, people aren't engaged, and seems pretty impossible. And on the personal level, well, golly, we don't get along with people. A lot of times we think we're going to find our peace by imposing our ideas on other folks. If we can get everybody to think about the world and God just like I do, then everything will be just fine. That's a pretty frustrating thing because nobody's ever going to see it just like we do. So nothing is impossible is quite a message. You know, this was the message that was given by the angel Gabriel in conjunction with the visitation when Mary went to visit Elizabeth, her kinswoman. And this elderly woman had become pregnant, and it seemed impossible by the world standards, but the angel of Gabriel said nothing is impossible with God. Jesus calls the apostles, the first apostles, to follow him, to leave everything and follow him. Well, they were married, and they had kids, and they had responsibilities. They said, well, Jesus, that's impossible. We can't do that. He says, well, with human beings, it's impossible, but nothing is impossible with God. So the impossibility that we're looking at is getting to something that is interior, something that is more spiritual, something that is with us in good times or bad. You know, all of us are going to face crisis, we're going to face tragedy, we're going to face challenges, we're going to face obstacles. And some of these things we're going to succeed in externally, and some of them we're not. For it to be impossible, you know, there's two kinds of people in the world, folks. There's successful ones and unsuccessful ones, happy ones and unhappy ones. It has nothing to do with how much money you make. It has nothing to do with whether or not you face crisis and challenge and tragedy. We all face those things. It really has to do with a spiritual wealth, a spiritual success, a spiritual blessedness. The word in Greek is makarios. So we're going to be looking in these teachings at those inner things. And the key is to bring that old self, you know, that old self that isn't very happy and that old self that doesn't often make other people very happy. Bring that old self to the cross and let it die, let it pass away completely. And then the person that God created us to be will be raised up in the Spirit of God, and through the resurrection of Jesus, we will become new creations in Christ. And we will be happy, see, no matter where we are. Good times or bad, sickness, health is just like marriage. See, nothing is impossible with God. We will find this. So, golly, folks, don't give up. Don't give in to discouragement. Don't give in to depression. Love can overcome hatred. Forgiveness can overcome that ever-present tendency I think we all struggle with to be judgmental. Justice, which is based on mercy biblically, can overcome that ever-present human tendency to want to get even, to want to get vengeance. Kindness can overcome cruelty. And most importantly, humility, meekness, can overcome arrogance and pride. So let's bring that old self to the cross of Christ. Let it pass away completely. And if we do that, the new creation in Christ will be raised up, and we will find that right here on planet Earth, in the midst of all this stuff that we're going to inevitably go through, that we will feel as if nothing is impossible with God. God bless you now. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.